This is Dark Horse Rowing, and today we are talking about drag factor. How do we find drag factor and what it is? First things first, what is drag factor? Most of us know what damper setting is. Now, damper setting is this guy right here. It's this adjustment on the side of your flywheel housing. Now, the problem with damper setting is that it isn't specific. It's not actually a unit of measurement. It's just a number written on the side of the machine. Now, why it's not a unit of measurement is this. Around the flywheel housing, we have this mesh cage. And this mesh cage is intended to be a constant for the amount of air that can flow in and out of the flywheel housing. Okay? The problem with that is that as this thing gets dirty and over time, these little holes in the mesh cage will start to fill with dust. Now, as dust starts to clog these holes, it adjusts the amount of air that can actually flow in and out. Now, the reason that's important is because by setting damper setting, we assume that this is a constant and that the only change of air in and out of the flywheel comes from moving this. But that's not the case. The air actually changes depending on how clean or how dirty this mesh cage is. So what we have is drag factor, and drag factor calibrates damper setting. And that's the piece to understand, is that you may know what damper setting you like, but have you ever sat down on a machine and your damper setting that you're used to just doesn't feel right that day? It's usually not the fact that you're off, it's that you're sitting on a different machine and that machine is cleaner or dirtier than what you're used to. So a 5 is not actually the same resistance as a 5 on every machine. If I set 10 machines all to 5, every single one would feel different. So to counter that, we have drag factor, and drag factor calibrates damper setting. So we calibrate it, and whenever my drag factor numbers are all the same, as long as my drag factor numbers are all the same, I will feel the same on every single machine. So if I sit down and I have a drag factor of 110 on 10 different machines, they'll all feel the same. So let's look at how to do that. Now, on the monitor, I have the More Options menu. So I go to More Options, and then I hit Display Drag Factor. It's that easy. This is my drag factor menu. This is where I actually test my drag factor and calibrate damper setting. So for this example, we want a 120, okay? That's gonna be the drag factor we're gonna try and find today. So my damper setting is at a 5. I'm gonna row, and all it says is row to display drag factor. Oh, all right, so I'm at a 122, 123. Now, what drag factor measures is deceleration of the flywheel. So it doesn't matter how hard you row, because it's gonna measure just how much that flywheel is slowing down. So, for example, now, let's actually adjust it for you. Let's say we want a drag factor of 110. So I just measured and it's at 123, which means it's a bit high. I'm gonna bring it down by tapping the damper down a little bit, and then I'll retest. So that took me to 99. I'm gonna find a happy middle ground here. 105, just a little bit more. A little bit more. And I'm right about there, 108, close enough. So that is how I adjust my damper setting to become drag factor. So now I know that if you sit on your normal machine and a 5 is where you go every time, just test the drag factor at a 5 on that machine. And now anytime you sit down on a machine, instead of setting your damper setting, set it to your drag factor, and you'll always have consistent output. It'll feel the same every time. And that's what we want, consistency in your training. Now you can adjust it up or down. It's great to train at different drag factors. Don't just always stick yourself to the same one. Okay, train at high drag factors, train at low drag factors. But understand that drag factor is an actual unit of measurement. Damper is just a guess. All right, guys, this is Dark Horse Rowing signing off. Make sure you sign up for our newsletter, The Hustler's Guide to Rowing, in your inbox every Tuesday. our latest blog article, and our latest video. We'll see you guys on the other side.